Ooh-wee! Alex Karp just went on TV and dropped massive bombshells. I absolutely love to hear this guy speak, and today, he did not disappoint.
Very exquisitely happy about how well we're doing, both in the government and commercially. Palantir, with somebody that has been hired 5 days ago, that can't write code, that's very smart, may not speak English, and has just entered the enterprise, is doing that workflow. We're going to show you what happens in 4 to 6 hours, as opposed to what happened in your whole enterprise over the last 2 years. We've been able to meet demand. We've had to tell people we couldn't accommodate them. We have hundreds of people coming, not just people, but leaders of industry. And if you just look at it from the internal dynamics of how do you deal with the contracting? How do you deal with the implementation? It's true, these things have gone from taking us 3 months to 4 hours, but it's also true.
Well, the idea is you cram 4 months worth of work into a day in these boot camps, right?
It is not even a day. It's hours. Okay? People fight us or fight enterprises that are doing the most important work with slick PowerPoints and great steak dinners. We're bad at slick PowerPoints. We're even worse at steak dinners. We don't play golf. What we do is we play software. We will put, if you want to actually compete on your product. And I would also like, a lot of those people asking the question, by the way, are not academic. They are investors in Palantir, and they have supported us when we were down on the ropes. And those are the people that we are fighting for.
Let's go over what he said, analyze it, break it down. Let's get started right away. So first of all, he basically was saying one important thing here, which got lost a little bit in the sea of bullshit that he was trying to be fed by that guy who's interviewing him. Not a huge fan of that guy, but it is what it is. Look, I'm going to call it like I see it. Sometimes I feel interviewers get Palantir. Sometimes I feel interviewers don't get Palantir. That guy seemed like he wasn't really in it. But, you know, sometimes that's what you got to deal with as the CEO of a public company. It is what it is. No, Alex Karp said, look, the beauty of this software we're building here, the beauty of the solution is that we can take a person off the street, zero experience, zero understanding, no coding, no English, put him in the driver's seat of this thing, and he'll make you smart, informed decisions that data scientists spend months on. That's the beauty of it. Who doesn't want that as a company? Who doesn't want that as a government? That's why everything is oversubscribed up to wazoo. That's why everybody's trying to get a seat at AIPCon, because this is a cheat code. Essentially, what they're selling is a cheat code for a video game for unlimited strength. I mean, come on. Now, he also talks about the fact that the new industrial revolution is starting, and some will miss it because they think that horses are more efficient than engines. And I get it. It always happens. There's always these few people who miss the revolution. I think he's absolutely right. He also talks about the fact that now with AIPCon, with the boot camps, they can really show you a working product within 4 to 6 hours. Now imagine, and having been in the room many, many times in those meetings when you come into a client, I worked for Deloitte for many, many years, was a senior manager. We come in and we try to pitch a product, a solution. So we come in with a PowerPoint, we come in with some sort of an explanation, a demo, a mock-up of what we can do. Now, he's basically saying, look, guys, this is old school stuff. We come in with a working product for you. So we come in, imagine like if somebody's trying to offer me editing services and it's like, oh, Tom, we would love to edit videos for your YouTube channel. We're going to increase your click-through rate. We're going to do that and that and that and that. Or a guy walks in off the street. It's like, yo, I have a software that just re-edited 100 of your last videos, and I did it in 4 hours, and it looks 100 times better than any other editor has ever done it. And we can scale it and do it on every video, and it's going to take minutes. And it's going to cost you 1/10 of what you would pay an actual editor. My head would explode if that happens. By the way, Palantir, where's the B2C product for me? I need it. But I'm just saying, like, this is like the mind-blowing stuff that people don't understand. Why is it oversubscribed? Why is it absolutely everybody's going gaga? Because they should. I mean, it's a cheat code. Now, look, he says, we don't come with a promise. We don't come with PowerPoint presentations. We come with a working product that's better than anything you've ever seen before. I mean, that's why we beat companies, you know? Simple as that. Now, he was asked about a B2C product, a business to consumer product. He didn't answer that question, which I don't think he should have, but he hinted, kind of, if you understand how to read this guy, he kind of hinted at the fact that they may have something in the works in the future. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think that Palantir's value is derived as a B2C company. I've said it multiple times. Even if Palantir stays a B2B, if you look at Salesforce, a pure B2B play, it's still 10x undervalued. Now, if Palantir goes B2C and successfully does so, not even talking about 500, I don't even know how to quantify that. Now, look at Palantir. Let's look at Palantir objectively right now, right? Okay, cool. So this company has revenues that are increasing. It has a net income margin that's close to 10%, massive piles of cash, $3 billion, 5 times more assets and liabilities. lots of cash, no debt, short interest of 5%, institutional shareholding that's doubled over the past 3 years, scalability up the wazoo, margins are going up, prices are going up, revenues are going up, expenses flat or coming down. I'll show you in a second. The insanity of what I'm about to show you. And the stock has done very well since IPO, unlike Snowflake. And the founder is still the CEO and he ain't going nowhere. So, I mean, what more can you ask? Now, you can listen to guys like Rishi Jaluria out of RBC, who just a few days ago gave you a $5 price target for Palantir. And all due respect to Mr. Jaluria, this guy gave Palantir a 12 times sell rating at $5 since May of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. He cost you 260% if you listen to him. That's all I'm saying. Like if you listen to Rishi Jaluria for RBC, you missed out on 260% this year. Simple. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. You could have listened to his Zoom recommendation, which is buy at $509 in 2020. That didn't really work out. It is $63. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So you can listen to the bears that are still remaining for Palantir, or you can actually get with the program and see that fundamentally this kind of thing doesn't come along very often. This is a Tesla level of a company right here, and it's not priced accordingly yet. Now, it's not here to say that Palantir is going from 25 to 500. No, we might see Palantir at 15 in a couple of months, maybe in a couple of weeks. It's a volatile company. But again, you have to look at it at a 10-year increment. Where will Palantir be in 10 years? What's more likely? Palantir in 10 years being double than what it is right now, or Nvidia being double than what it is right now? Going from $2.2 trillion to $4.4 trillion for Nvidia, I don't think it's as likely as Palantir going from 50 to 100 billion. All I'm saying. But hey, to each their own. This is not financial advice, just ramblings of a madman, my own opinion, doing research. Now look, the thing is with Palantir, what they're selling to you is the data operating software that's going to become kind of the gold standard. Much like I just mentioned NVIDIA, which is building the infrastructure for this AI environment. Palantir is giving you the software solution. Now, the crazy part about this, I think it's better than NVIDIA. Why? Because I think it's much easier and more scalable to produce the software than the hardware for this new AI revolution, gold rush, industrial revolution, whatever you call it. Now, look, we have hundreds of hours of content, if not thousands, explaining what Palantir does exactly, including multiple interviews I've done myself, multiple videos with case studies. If by this point, in March of 2024, you still feel like you don't understand what Palantir does, you're either lazy or you're willfully, intentionally misleading people. Or you just fail to listen and understand what this company does. There's no excuse not to understand what the product is, what Palantir does, with the hundreds, if not thousands of hours of explanations out there on YouTube alone. Not even talking about the resources you have on the web. Now, let me show you some numbers here. And this is the thing that gets me excited, gets me out of bed every morning. Revenue 3 years ago was $1.1 billion. Revenue right now, $2.2 billion. 100% increase in revenue, while at the same time, the gross profit grew by 140% from 740 million to 1.8 billion. So you have revenues going up by 100, gross profit goes up by 140%. I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So at the same time, R&D expenses for the past 3 years go down from 560 to 400. So revenues up 100, gross profit up 140%, R&D expenses down 30%, SG&A down 6%. So we have revenues coming up, margins coming up, expenses coming down. Operating income, just 3 years ago, negative 1.2 billion. Past 12 months, plus 120 million. In 3 years, they went from negative 1.2 billion to positive 120 million. CapEx, flat, 15 million. This is absolutely insane. This company spends only $15 million a year on capital expenditures. A company that drives 2.2 billion in sales. Now, look at the institutional shareholding of this company. Just 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 600,000 shares. Right now, 860,000 shares. 42% increase in institutional shareholding in 3 years. While you were being told by mainstream media to sell this because it's garbage, they were gobbling it up. Look at the chart in Stock MVP. You can see that through past 3 years, they've been buying every single quarter. While you've been fed this nonsense, this FUD about the dilution and all this crap, they were buying. And they still are, by the way. Free cash flow, 3 years ago, negative 300 million. Right now, positive 700 million. Up 300% 3 years. Assets, up 70% 3 years. Liabilities, down 20%. This is insane. This is video game numbers. With an 80% gross margin, no debt, and $3 billion in cash. I mean, why are we... Bro, are we talking about practice? We're talking about practice here? Not the game, practice? I'm just kidding. Shout out to Ellen Iverson, the famous rant. I mean, what are we doing here, guys? And of course, this may not be the investment for you, and I get it. Palantir isn't for everyone. I totally understand. And if that's not the stock for you, go right ahead. There's plenty of other options. But for me, looking at the fundamentals, looking at the numbers, the objective data, it's mind-blowing to me how people fail to see that this is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one.